Every coffee needs a lotus.
What's the secret to beauty's beauty?
Langis.
Ito ba lahat ang gamit mo?
Ay, hindi. Isa lang ang gamit ko for all. Moringa O2 Therapy Oil. Hindi lang malunggay. Meron ding olive oil and omega from sunflower oil.
This therapy oil helps relieve my dry and irritated skin.
It helps lighten my scars and stretch marks.
It helps make my hair young and healthy.
This is our beauty secret.
Sana all!
Sarah oil.
Nandito ako nung nagpa-practice mag-bike ng anak ko.
Nandito ako nung nag-birthday si Mommy.
Dito ako nag-celebrate ng wedding anniversary namin.
Distance will always be a problem. So choose a home that makes life more fulfilling by bringing you closer to everything that matters the most. Arezzo Place Pasig. Live fulfilled.
Finma Properties, making room to build your future.
We give employers more ways to extend a helping hand. The financial programs we design with our business partners focus on creating a safety net for devoted employees. We believe secure and happy employees are essential to a successful business.
Hi, I'm Mel, and I am choosy. My ultimate skin goal is gusto kong mag-even out ang skin tone ko.
Hi, my name is Gian Enwada. My skin goals are to become whiter, fairer, healthier, and younger.
It really shows na yung skin ko ngayon mas moisturized, mas glowing, and mas healthy.
Thanks to beauty, I got my skin tone back. Thank you so much, beauty.
And we are live. Good afternoon, a pleasant afternoon to each and every one of you. So good afternoon to our Zoom participants. And before I move on, I would like to say hi to our clients from Catay Drug, Flawless, Green Cross, and of course, Miss Janice from Stiltech and Sir Cromwell. Hello, hello, hello there, guys. And of course, I would like to say hi and hello as well to our YouTube viewers. Don't forget to share this our live stream in your Facebook pages so that more people will benefit on our free live webinars. Okay, so welcome to another e-learning session powered by Ariba Academy. Again, this is Irish Malonda Samson, and I will be joining with our moderator, Mr. Howell Mabalot. Hello, sir. Kamusta?
Magandang araw, Miss Irish Malonda Samson. Malinaw ba ang aking sound?
As usual, sir. Loud and clear, 111.
And hello to our participants globally.
Yes, sir. So, please join me in welcoming our participants from out of the country, and they are watching from Tung Chung, Hong Kong, Medan, Indonesia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Phuket, Thailand, Sharjah, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and California, United States. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And in order for us to have a smooth flow of our e-learning session, here are the following house rules. So we would like to know who are the first-time viewers of our webinar. Please type in hi in the chat box now. And for our avid followers and viewers, please type in hello and tell us where are you watching right now. Okay, hi Rachel, this is her first time. Benedict, John Rufino, hello sir, welcome. Sheila Rabino, Leia Eneres, Kim Agaseta, Arlan Ortiz, Mindy Ignacio, hello. Raymond Timban, okay. Janeline Kaingat, hello everyone. Okay. Diane Lumibaw is watching from Quezon City, and Trisha Ann is from Navotas naman. Okay, we have a viewer from Imus, Cavite. Thank you for registering in our live webinar, and thank you for joining with us this afternoon. Okay, moving on, let's do an audio check. Please use the following codes. Please type in 111 to show if you can hear me loud and clear and I am audible. So for 111, thank you. Wendy, Kim, Melchor, Diane, thank you. Antoinette, Sheila, 111, Marife, Maria Lourdes, Nora Mabini. Okay, thank you. 222 means you cannot hear me or no sound at all. 2121 means our sound is breaking up. And question mark if you don't understand anything. Sir Howell, so far we're loud and clear.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Moving on. We will be having a 2 to 3 minute break after the presentation of our guest speaker and before we move on to our question and answer portion. For Q&A guidelines, participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by the administrator during discussion to avoid interruptions. Questions will be entertained after each topic of the session. For questions and clarifications during the provided time after each topic, please click the raise hand button for the administrator to enable the microphone for live questions. Yes, we will entertain live questions later from our Zoom participants. Type in your questions at the Q&A box. One question at a time will be entertained. For comments and feedback, please scan this QR code. This will be directed to our feedback form. Please send us your comments, suggestions, and topics to discuss in order for us to have a smooth flow of our e-learning session. Okay, I am very excited to have our guest speaker today, sir. Just like you, he is not only an ARIVA Partner Speaker for me, but of course a friend, a mentor, a brother as well. So every day then, kasama ko siya for meetings like you, Sir Howell, for meetings, for in-house trainings. And please do the honors in introducing our guest speaker today.
Thank you, Miss Irish Malonda Samson, our dear president. Now, the speaker for today on the topic, the brightness amidst the crisis, like what Miss Irish has mentioned, is a fellow speaker for ARIVA Academy. So without further ado, let's watch this video.
And put in the years of hard work so that you can get to a place where you can be the epitome of God's handiwork.
Management consultant, OD practitioner, entrepreneur, blogger, life coach, customer service junkie. Coach Randy Esguerra is probably one of the most intriguing speakers today. He is unapologetic of the things he says and delivers them in a style that is his own. He would be one of those people who would speak out on what everyone else have always wanted to, but was too shy to do so. After 20 years of service in the corporate world, he now shares his insights to help improve people and organizations. He listens to everyone from CEOs to security guards and applies these best practices in his workshops. A practical behavioralist, he looks at solutions from a personal and relational perspective. His spin-off nonprofit LOL, or Lessons of Life project, provides free learning to students, religious organizations, and financial support to children in public charity wards of different hospitals. He doesn't care about titles or accolades. He believes the most important title he ever will gain is the honor of being a dad. Ladies and gentlemen, your speaker, Coach Randy Esguerra.
Ayan, so palakpakan natin si Coach Randy Esguerra, everyone! Hello, Coach. Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. When was the last time we had our session?
April with Coach Suzette.
Suzette, yes. Yes. How are you, Sir Howell?
I'm good, sir. What about you?
Good. Mainit. Mainit pa rin hanggang ngayon. Kala ko tag-ulan na.
Yeah. And we're ready for the webinar na manggagaling sa'yo. Brightness.
Thank you for moderating for us, Sir Howell.
It's always an honor. It's a commitment I made to ARIVA Academy.
Okay, so...
Thank you, sir.
Shall I begin?
Sure. Take it away, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Howell. First of all, I want to thank everyone for joining in, everyone from all over the Philippines, but also I want to say hi to everyone who is here now from watching us from abroad. No? So I heard there are some of you watching from Hong Kong, from Indonesia, and I'm very happy that you guys are tuned in. I've seen, I think, hundreds of people are already joining in. You can invite some of your friends to also watch this webinar. I would like to invite you to pull in some of your family members to join in and maybe watch us today, and maybe share the link to your friends if you found us at the ARIVA Academy website and Facebook page. My topic today is about the brightness amidst the crisis. So we're going to be talking about two very important words here. First, the word brightness, and then the word crisis. So I made a play of these words today so that I can reveal the message to you later on. I'll combine all of these elements at the end. So first, let's talk about brightness. The word brightness. Like, as you can see, I'm actually not used to all of these lights, and all of that. I'm not used to that. But the main component of our topic, the first part, is light, and this is very important. The word light, and light has a source. That's the thing. It's either light comes from a light source, some form of energy, or it's bouncing back from something. For example, daytime you can see the sun because it has its own force. But why is it that you see the moon at night when it's so far away? It's because the moon is reflecting light from the sun, and that's why you can see it at night, and that's why maybe you can see other celestial things in the sky. And the thing about light is that brightness is the presence of light, and because of light we see things. Now the problem with the absence of light, just turn off all your lights in your house, you can't see anything. Sabi nga ni Jokoy, if you go to a Filipino house, the only thing you can see is the light of the rice cooker. Yun lang ang makikita mo. But that's true. There's a light source. Now, I want to talk about the second word, which is the word crisis. The word crisis means two things. First, the word crisis from the Greek origin means to think. To think, a point where you think, thought, contemplation. And then the second part is the word action. So you think and then you act. So in a time of crisis, like what we're going through now, you're thinking about it and what actions can you take in the absence of light. So that's the key. And if you combine those ideas, it's like if you've ever driven at night where it's totally pitch dark, right? You can't see anything. The only light that you have is your headlights, and it can only go as far as probably around 50, 100 meters, maybe in total pitch dark. And so you rely on that until you get to your destination. That's all you have. And this is what we call a situation. That's where we are right now. We are in a situation. Now, what is the meaning of a situation? A situation is your mind and your emotions at a particular point in time. Let me say that again. It is your mindset and your emotions at a particular point in time. So whatever we decide on is based on our predefinition on that point in time. So sometimes you can lose your temper because of a certain stimulus. There's a reason why you got angry. That's the situation. Now the question is, will you be in that situation forever? Now, the problem with situations is that it's revealing. It is revealing. Why? Whatever situation you are shows your personality, shows your identity. Now, what do I mean by that? It is said that whether you have money or you don't have money, it shows what kind of person you are. And sometimes when you say don't have money, you're not a really good person. When you have more money, you just continue to be more of a bad person. So the meaning of a situation is that it magnifies our true nature. Who we are at a certain point in time magnifies innately who we are. Are you getting this? So think about it right now. When there was an announcement of a lockdown, they didn't want to use lockdown first because they wanted to use the word quarantine. What was running through your mind? Thought. And then what is your plan of action, which is what you're going to do? So what did people do? There were some people who remained calm. There were people who were like waiting. They were calm. And then there were people who just hoarded toilet paper. They hoarded toilet paper. They hoarded alcohol. You can see the lines at the groceries, the malls, the palengke. No, it was complete mayhem. And why do people do that? Why do people just suddenly do that? And you see the prices of alcohol was just very expensive. Toilet paper was running out. And you can see the situation also right now in the United States, where there's rallying on the streets, and there were people who are calm. There were people who were quiet, peaceful in their demonstration. And then there were people who were rioting, just stealing stuff. I can see the videos on news, and it was sad because you can see people just running out of the stores, bringing stuff and just running out. And this is a fundamental part of human nature. A part of our nature is survival. That's one of the things that comes into the mind of a person. Survival. And since the beginning of time, if you look at history, that's what it's all about. People want to survive. It's only now in this part of our generation where we're trying now to make a point of significance from survival to significance. We want to make change. No, people wanted to be successful and people wanted to help one another, and it magnified the true nature of other people. Some people were hoarding, some people were sharing. They were doing donations, they were doing charity drives just to get the people who were not receiving anything more because they were the less fortunate. You see, this is now the beauty of the brightness. You can see light in the other side of self-preservation of people. Now, why did this happen to man? Now, if you think about it, so let me play a little something for you. Let me show you something. And please don't be offended by this, but I want you to think about this very carefully. Let's say, for example, and just for example, for the purposes of this talk, that we actually were from the evolution of primates, let's say. Okay, so on the left, you can see the human, the man. On the right side is primate. Now they say, anthropologists say that our nearest cousins in terms of evolution are the orangutans. Now you can see immediately the physiological differences of a monkey versus a man. We're upright. And let me show you some very important things. First, look at the jaw. Look at the size of the head. And you can see that the jaw of the primate is much bigger, much longer, and the teeth are much bigger. And if you look at the pelvis, the midsection, the pelvis is much bigger also than the size of the human being. We have smaller teeth and we have a smaller pelvis. Now, why is that so? Animals, and particularly primates, they were used to eating raw food. They get it from the trees, they get it from somewhere, they climb, they forage, and they had to eat a lot of really hard stuff. No, they had to do a lot of chewing. They had to evolve their jaw just so they can handle the roughness of the food that they had to eat. And that's why they had expanded guts, simply because they had to digest all of that for them to survive. But what happened to man? Man did not have that kind of physiology simply because he discovered cooking. He learned how to cook his food. I don't know how. When man started to discover fire, maybe, he saw something burning and he tried to eat it and he said, wow, this tastes better. And now he was cooking, fermenting, preparing food all of these years. And now he doesn't have to digest all of that hard stuff, all of those fibers. And now, physiologically, he's much more evolved. And that's why he's a different being. That's who we are. We evolve eventually through discovery, sometimes by accident, sometimes by pursuit. We change. And in this time of crisis, this is a pivotal time for all of us because this is a time of discovery. So let me go back to the word crisis. Now, I want to talk to you several steps on how to improve yourself and what are the things that you can do in a time of crisis. In times of emergencies and times of crisis, we have good friends here at Pasig from rescue and disaster. They're great friends, and they shared with us several ideas on what to do in times of emergencies. So here are several steps that I want to share with you when you're going through an emergency or a crisis, whether it be a major emergency or a major crisis. Number one, I'm sorry, I had to give you a little creepy hallway here, but that's the visual effect. The first thing you need to realize and you need to think about is you need to assess your situation. Where are you? Where are you now? And what's in front of you? What's behind you? What's on top of you? What's on your left and what's on your right? That's the first thing. Assess your situation. And that's why, when you go on a plane, I know it's boring when you listen to the public address telling you the safety precautions on what to do. But that's the first important thing. Where is your source of light? Where is your escape route? Know what can you do in that point of situation. You need to assess yourself and then check yourself. How are you? And how's everyone around you? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing you need to do is you need to assess and secure your resources. That's correct. Your resources. What do you have at the certain point? Number one. So let me share with you number one, your safety. Are you safe? Is outside safe? Is indoor safe? Where should you be? In terms of a typhoon, what is the safest place to be? If you're in your car and there's an earthquake, is it safe to get out of the car or is it safe to stop? Is it safe to keep on going? That's the first thing. Are you safe? Number two, you can't check on someone else until you have secured that you're safe. All right, so that's the first thing. That's why at airlines, at airplanes, they tell you you need to secure yourself first before you start helping others. Okay, so now secure your family. How's your kids? How's your mom? How's your dad? You know, where are they and how are they doing? Okay, so that's the second thing, your family. Number three, your assets. Your assets meaning how's the house? Is it broken? How are the lights? How's the electricity? All the things that you can take care of that are essential. That's why it's resources, but you need to think of the essentials first. Like for example, do you, and this is a question I want to throw to all of you, if something happens, do you know where your passport is? Do you know where your birth certificate is? Do you know where your land title is? You know, do you know where your IDs are? You know where your laptop is? You know, and so sometimes we think of the not so important things first, but we haven't been able to secure the important things. So you, your family, and your important assets. You know, there was a joke one time. You know, someone just hit his car, his really expensive car, and he crashed his car, and he got out of the car and he was saying, my Ferrari, my Ferrari, my Ferrari. And one of the bystanders looked at the guy and said, dude, you lost your arm. You don't have an arm. And he looked at his left arm and he said, oh my God, my Rolex, my Rolex, my Rolex. So people are focusing on a lot of the not so important things first before the vital ones. If I were you, maybe in this time, you want to think about securing where your important assets are. Do you even know where they are? And put them in a very secure place. Put them in a place where it's important. You know, I was looking for a document the other day, and I just tore down the house and I couldn't find it. And apparently, it was with someone else. So that was a scare. But I'm not going to let that happen again. Number 4, financials. So this is very important. How are your financials? So I know there are people who are going through some financial problems right now. You know, if you're at the office listening to this, watching this right now, congratulations to you. You have a job. And for those who are working from home, you're watching this from home, you know, congratulations, you have a job. But there are people who don't have a source of income right now, and that's why I'm happy for people who are continuously trying to help other people just secure their everyday meals. It's just the simple things, just a meal for them and their families are already very, very vital. And this is a time where you really need to think about, and I'm going to tell you this. This is an important, and Sir Howell will tell you this, Miss Irish, and all of the speakers will tell you this. A very important thing you need to think about when it comes to financials is your source of credit. You might not have income right now. You might, and a source of income. You know, I'm happy for people right now. They have become instant entrepreneurs. No, entrepreneurs, they say in French. So people have become instant entrepreneurs, and that's why the government is now finally taking notice on online selling. I don't know what's going to happen with that taxation on online sellers. You know, but this has been, you know, people have been doing this forever. And you know, in the past, we've been laughing at online sellers, you know, buy this, buy that, you know, and now suddenly everyone's an online seller. It's funny how evolution has changed people and everything, but that's a good source of financials. What can you sell right now? What can you make money out of? You know? Can you make money out of your skills? Can you work from home? Can you be an online tutor? No, what can you do to improve your financials? And again, your source of credit. Now, that's a very good thing to think about, and your savings and your investments down the line when all of this is over. And then last but not the least is your skills. What can you use? And there are untapped skills that you might not have looked at for the last couple of, you know, years. And now since COVID-19 happened, suddenly you're gonna try to assess what can you do. And maybe, you know, Sir Howell can attest to this, and all of the other speakers can attest to this. You know, the beginnings of our careers, I don't know, I don't speak for everyone, but my career started from a crisis. I started from a crisis, and then I started to look at what I can do, what I can use, and what God has given me that I can monetize. What can I make a career of from my skills and from my assets? And that's where you build a career on that, so that hope that doesn't happen again. If it does, you have a fallback, and that's a very important thing. So assess all of these things, because these are very important resources that you have that you can use. Next, you have to have an emergency plan. Okay, so an emergency plan is what I've been saying in the last slide. And these are examples of an emergency plan in the case of an actual emergency. So what you can do while I'm going through this is maybe take a screenshot, or maybe go back to this and maybe pause it, and then maybe take a picture of it. Here are several things that you need to take note when it comes to an actual crisis. Number one, exits. That's what I was saying a little while ago. Where are your exits? What's your escape route? Number two, where can you meet up? And that's why, at buildings, at offices, they have a meeting area, where an evacuation area where it is safe for everyone. Try to find a safe space where all of you can converge so that you can come together. And sometimes you need to already immediately think about that. For example, in an earthquake, labas agad, or do you hide under the table? So what is the best way to handle that? Number three, children. So where's the best place to pick up children if you're outside, or someone who can help you out? So now you're not just thinking of yourself, you're now connecting with other people on what to do during an emergency. Next, contacts. So who are your contacts, just in case? And I would suggest that you scroll through your contacts again, and maybe try to designate, like when you're drinking, there's a designated driver, there's a designated contact in terms of roles, what you need to do in situations like these. So I have on my phone contacts of my friends from emergency and rescue. We have contacts from hospitals. We have contacts from doctors. So do you have these kinds of contacts? And it's very good to always have a circle of friends in any kind of situations. Lawyer, doctor, people you can contact that might become necessary one day. Next, insurance and health. You have HMO, you have insurance, just in case what happens to you, what happens to your family. Are you insured? And we have been running from these insurance sellers for the longest time. But if you think about it now, when something happens, knock on wood, are you insured? Is there something that you can leave your family? And that's a very good investment to think about. Pets, oh God. There are people who don't have kids, and there are pet lovers out there. Type 1, press 1 if you're a pet lover. You have pets, and there are people who have so many pets, so many birds and cats and dogs in the house. And type 1 if you're a pet lover. So what do you do just in case, where they can stay? When Taal hit, that was a very important thing to think about when people started to realize, hey, how's my cows, how's my dogs? They were thinking about this is a very important part of other people's lives. They're just like family members to others. Risks in the region. So now we are in a pandemic. We need to think big, and that means not just the safety of your home, but the risks of going out. And that's why there are identified places right now where you need to be careful of. There are places now that are a little bit more loose, lenient when it comes to their restrictions, and so that's probably a safe place. But you look at regions, and that's why I suggest you look at the numbers and the situations of your barangay. What barangay is rising in the numbers, what barangay is safe, and you think about that. If your barangay is medyo high risk, then the more you don't need to go out. All right, I'm just telling you. fire extinguishers, water sources, electronic panels. Do you know where your switchboard is, just in case, you have to think about that all the time. Right now in our house, I keep thinking about electricals. I keep thinking about water sources, because it is a very important factor. For example, electricity, your electricals could be a source of fire. After all of this pandemic and all of this, you don't want to have that kind of complication other on top of what we're going through right now. Gas valves or LPG, kamusta ang LPG mo? No, is it open? Is it closed? You have to close it every time after you're cooking. All right, just telling you. Okay, and then your floor drains, water, canals. Your exits, your water flows. In our place, I almost every day I try to clean it up, because the rainy season is coming, and Pagasa has already said it's already here, and I always clean our waterways, because I want to make sure it doesn't flood. We're in a place that easily gets flooded, so you want to think about that as well. All right, so that's an example of an emergency plan, and you try to maybe take a picture of that and always save it on your phone, because I think that's always worthy to note, just in case. It comes in handy at the back of your pocket. Next, I want to send two messages on this slide, because it's alarming, but also at the same time it's cautionary. Okay, number one, don't be complacent. I think this is what's happening right now. I can see that some countries if you think about it, a few months back when this was happening, it was beginning to happen. We were just joking about it, and we were just laughing about it and all of that. We took it lightly, and I think this is also a reason. I don't want to knock on somebody here. This is probably also the reason why this spread this much. Being complacent is not a good thing. And we have been saying this for the longest time, only the paranoid survive. You remember that? If you probably attended any of my seminars, I always say that, only the paranoid survive. Walang masamang maging praning. And the problem is people became complacent, and just look at us now. When suddenly the ECQ became MECQ, and then it became GCQ, and now we're hopefully looking forward to MGCQ. We're letting our guards down. We're suddenly becoming complacent, and people started to go out. And the problem is they forgot that they thought wala ng virus, and they thought they couldn't get sick. Alam nila, immortal sila. Tignan nyo si Cardo, pati si Cardo wala na ngayon, no? Kasi hindi rin talaga siya immortal, because there's still a virus. And I'm hearing news that there are tests going on to find a cure for this virus, and we pray to God that this antibody, this solution comes very, very soon. Don't be complacent. If you don't need to go out, please don't go out, especially elders, your senior citizens, unless they need to go out. Gigil na gigil ka ng lumabas, I know, but konti pang tiis, no? Get a little bit of sunshine, fine, but please don't. Can be a carrier. You can be a carrier, and if you be a carrier, you're going to be a carrier for someone else, and you're going to spread it. We always say spread the love, but please don't spread the disease. So don't be complacent, but also don't panic either. See, the problem with panic is that you lose all focus, and I think this period, this quarantine period, this period of isolation, we're like in prison. Tama ba, mga kakosa? Appear, mga kakosa. No, we are now in prison because of all of this. But this has also given us time to really think and plan out our strategy. But if you panic, like what the other people did, started hoarding toilet paper. Now there's toilet paper. What are you gonna do with all of that toilet paper, right? I mean, you panic and you just stored all of this alcohol and now you're selling it cheap because you panic and you're taking advantage of the situation. That's why you panic. But you need to be calm, but you don't need to panic, but you don't need to be complacent as well. Let me clarify a few terminologies here, just for the sake of everybody. There are three important words that you need to learn. And these are the three words: the word pandemic, epidemic, and endemic. What's the difference between all of these words? First, pandemic is what we're going through now. The word pan is Greek for all. Okay, so pandemic, everyone is going through this. And epidemic, the word epidemic, is only to a specific area. Okay, that's why it's an epidemic, maybe just in China, but it hasn't spread everywhere else. So that's why it's called, the Spanish influenza. But did you know that the Spanish influenza or the Spanish flu did not come from Spain? All right, so it didn't happen in Spain. All right, just letting you know, Spanish influenza happened in a particular place. And when I was studying different plagues and viruses and epidemics all over the world, sometimes they were concentrated on a very particular place: in London, in Mexico, in China, in the Roman Empire, in Italy, and other parts of Europe. So this happens to a particular place, particular region. Now, what's the meaning of the word endemic? Endemic is a disease or an event that is only to a particular group of individuals. Okay, so it's specific to a certain group or minority, and it's not happening to everyone else. For example, an endemic may be just affecting babies, or it only affects senior citizens. So that's the meaning of those three words, just to get our vocabulary right. Okay, and the problem with the pandemic that we're going through right now is that if you panic and you lose your focus, what happens next is the word pandemonium. Nagkakagulo-gulo na. Nagkakagulo. Kasi tayo, magulo din. Magulo ang pag-iisip, naging magulo ang emosyon, emosyonal masyado, kaya ang ginawa, nanggulo ng iba. Ang problema, the people who can do it, for example, the people who can have money, are now depriving others of the liberty of having alcohol or toilet paper or food. So that's why they put a limit on how much to buy, because people were taking advantage of others. And that's what we don't want to see. And that's what we don't want to see happen in the United States. Pandemonium, when this rallying happens, and emotions versus the emotions of others, the emotions of people who are sympathetic to Black Lives Matter, and then there are people who are unsympathetic to them, to the rights of others, they will clash. And that's what's going to happen, a pandemonium. So just stay calm, but don't panic either. Next, I like this picture. It's a really old radio. The next message I want to share with you is keep yourself informed. Always keep yourself informed. I have a friend. He's also a speaker. He's a very well-known speaker. But I didn't get one thing he said when he said he doesn't like watching the news. He doesn't read the newspaper. He doesn't watch the news. And it's funny because he said he doesn't. And I know some people also have that kind of philosophy. They don't watch the news because they don't like seeing negative stuff. And sure, that's a very good way of putting it. But the problem with not being informed, yes, it's negative, I know, but you need to learn how to handle it, deal with it, because negativity really happens. The less you are informed, the less you make intelligent decisions. For example, why do we make reports? Why do we present reports to our bosses? To keep them informed. And why do they need to be informed? Because they make decisions. Are you getting me? So the right information stimulates the right decision. If you don't have the right information, you're walking around blind. And the problem is you might not have the right information because you're not listening, or you're always getting the wrong information. Hashtag fake news. You know, I see that a lot, you know, with a lot of other people. They're now sharing, ay nako, coach, mag-ano na, mag-iipit na, magsasara na, nako, ito na, kumalat na, and all of that. Na. And you know, I hear it here, and I let it pass here. I listen to it, and then I verify it. Because you need to verify your information first. I suggest don't get it from Facebook, all right? I'm just saying, don't get your information from Facebook. Get it from reputable sources, because anyone can make a Facebook account, anyone can share a post. People are always sharing with me, you know, links and all of that this is going to happen, and it never happened. How many times did Jackie Chan die, right? Ilang beses namatay si Robin Padilla, mga buhay pa din. You know, there's so much fake news around there, and you need to get it from verifiable sources. I always go to Twitter to get best information. I want to keep informed, but also when I watch television, the first thing I do when I wake up is open the news. Nothing wrong with that. You don't want to start, you say, I don't want to start my day with bad information, with negative stuff. Well, you need to listen from something, and you need to have the right information. Now, this is the next point, okay? Related to that is this. Live on bare basics. So, I'm going to play a game with you guys, okay? So, this is a question I want to throw at you, and I want you to participate right now if you're game, okay? So, here's how the game goes. I'm going to ask you to type a number if your answer is yes to this question, okay? Question number 1. Type 1, okay? Type 1 if you can't live without internet. Say that again. Type 1 if you cannot survive without internet connection. Type 1. Go. All right. So we're probably going to see a lot of ones here. You know, we're going to probably see a lot of people, I'm going to die. Okay. Number 2. Press 2 if you can't live without your phone. Oh no, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. What is this? You know, I don't have a phone. You know, they say that's the best way to punish kids, take away their phone. If you can't take away their phone, take away their charger. All right. So hide all the Android chargers, Android cords. So number 2, press 2 if you cannot live without your cell phone. If you're already dead, you've already probably lost a lot of the population. Okay? Some people have already actually virtually died. Number 3, press 3 if you cannot live without TV. Okay? And that includes your Netflix. I only get my Netflix from TV. You cannot live without TV and Netflix. All right? Press that number. Okay? That's that 3, Sir Howell? 3, no? Right? 3. Okay.
3, sir. 3.
So press 3. Yeah. If you cannot live without TV. Now, last question. Question number 4. Okay? Type 4, and this is the controversial question. Type 4 if you can live merely on radio. Kaya mo mabuhay, radyo lang. Type 4. And that is a question for a lot of us, because we have been used to all of these luxuries. And the question now is, can we live without these luxuries? Because that's exactly what was taken out from us. Taken away from us was a lot of our luxuries. The luxury to go out, the luxury to use your bike, the luxury to drive out, the luxury to go to the mall, watch a movie, go to the cinema. All of this was taken away from us by this situation. And we had to live with the bare basics. Some of you cannot live without your friends, and you wanted so badly to be with your friends, but now you have to be with your family. And sometimes it's a happy time for some of you, and for some of you, it's absolutely driving you nuts. It's driving you crazy. So are you surviving with just the basics? And what's sad is another simple question. Some people cannot live without mineral water. You know, some people cannot live and drink water directly from the faucet. And that's what I've been trying my mom, my dad has trained us to do that. They've lived on tap water. I know the quality of water is not better as time goes by, and that's why water stores, water companies, water refilleries are making a killing right now simply because the water is not really good. But I tried to really get myself used ever since with tap water, with just straight from the gripo. Masanay ako doon. And mineral water is great, sure, thank you, but I'll try to survive with the bare basics. Can you survive with the bare basics? And a lot of people are running to the restaurants right now because na-miss nila ang dine-in. Sawang-sawa na sila sa take-out at delivery at pagluluto ng kanyang nanay. And now, this is telling us to be ready for the bare basics if you can. Sanayin mo ang sarili mo to live with the bare basics. Good? All right. The next message I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, is this is gradual, okay? So first we said, assess your situation and then secure your resources. Okay, so where am I? I secure my resources, and then I try to have an emergency plan, right? And then I try to make sure that I keep myself informed, and then I try to know that I can live with the bare basics. So secure yourself, but next is protect your tribe. So this is very important. You need to protect your tribe. Ladies and gentlemen, we are tribal creatures. Humans are tribal creatures. And that's why I said just a little while ago, we cannot survive without our friends because we badly need them. We miss our office mates. I know we miss them. And because we're very tribal, we're very social people. For example, I'll give you an example. For example, me and Sir Howell didn't know each other, and we saw each other in the States, no? And we were gonna talk to each other, and then we say, Pinoy, oh, Pinoy, yes, Pinoy. And then you connect with what Pinoy mo, right? Now let's say, both of us are Pinoy. Taga-Pasig ka? Hindi. Metro Manila, taga Metro Manila din ako. Or for example, taga Baguio din ako, taga Baguio. We always want to gravitate ourselves to people of our own tribe, right? We want that. Bisaya din ako. Ilonggo din ako. We gravitate towards each other. So you try to protect now your tribe, your family, and your immediate family. That's the first thing you need to realize. Protect them because they also protect you. You protect each other. When you're now going to the office, for some of you who are already in the offices, hello to our clients, Green Cross, hi. I hope all of you are doing, you guys are doing a great job. We love you. You're now going to the office. Keep yourself safe so that you keep others safe and you keep each other safe. And that's what a tribe does. You protect each other. If you're a leader, you're the manager, you protect your tribe so that they protect you as well, so that we continue to exist. And then that tribe expands. It expands to a bigger tribe. And what does that mean? Your barangay, your neighbors, everyone around you, your church. There's in the time of GCQ, probably the restrictions on worship will be a little bit eased. But I know that there are some churches that even if they know that the restrictions will ease up a bit, they will still not allow public congregations simply because church for them is not a place, right? It's not a place. It's a being. It is an emotion. It is spirituality. It is your connection with the Lord. And it's the same thing with your tribe. You connect with your tribe. That means your friends, connect with them. If you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, connect with your friends, connect with your community. And I mean your church community, your Catholic community, whatever religion you're from. And every Sunday, we still try to hear Mass. We miss the physical Mass. Yes, we miss it. But we can still attend because church is not a physical place. All right? It is right here. Okay, so protect that tribe. And so all of these things that are happening, as and trying to connect all of the dots here is now changing the way we think about everything. Because we creatures, we especially humans, we're used to what we call pattern thinking. We are very procedural. Nasanay tayo sa maraming bagay dahil sinanay tayo all these years. And now, our pattern has changed. Just let's say, for example, look at that slide right now. The words are exactly in the middle, front and center, vertically and horizontally, 0.0%, absolutely centered, locked in. Sanay tayo dyan. If it goes a little bit off, it destroys our pattern. And we say, oh, that's a little off, that's weird. We like consistency. But now life is no longer consistent. It's not the same. And so I want to share with you a story. If you are on Netflix, just say hi. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen an episode on Netflix, I love documentaries on Netflix. I watched this documentary called Abstract, and I really encourage you guys to watch it. Abstract. And it is the art of design. It's all about different types of designers. You can find there, if you're a shoe lover, oh my God, you're going to find there Tinker Hatfield, the designer of Air Jordans. What was his mindset when he was designing Air Jordans? And then also, you can find there every episode, one of the youngest great architects, Bjarke Ingels, who's now designing the World Trade Center. Amazing thoughts on insights of great people. But I want to share with you one person in that documentary. He's an artist, but also an architect. His name is Olafur Eliasson. He's an amazing artist. I want you to watch this episode. It's an amazing episode. He's an artist. I'm flashing on the screen right now his creations. It's just mind-blowing, but also absolutely beautiful. Now, it's great works of art mixed with architecture. Now, you can see here, as I go through the slides again, one thing you'll notice that he uses a lot is the play of color. He uses a lot of color. And then, in one of his creations, he called it the Weather Project. He used one color. And this was an installation that he created that's called the Weather Project. And people flocked to this installation, and people loved it. And one of the things that Olafur Eliasson wanted to play around with is color. Now, if you see the episode, this is the trick that he did. It's an amazing trick. When you use white light, which is our topic and our title, when you use white light, you can see all the colors of the spectrum. You can see all types of colors. And do you know how many colors there are? Actually, there are 100 billion colors. All right, just a piece of trivia. There are 100 billion colors. Okay, actual colors mixed together, primary colors up to the end. All right, and when you put white light on it, you can see all of these colors. Now, according to scientists, humans have the ability to see color. And here's the funny part, animals cannot. Because our retina, our eyes, are actually greatly evolved to the point that we can see a lot of color. And that's why you can see that a lot of animals are equipped not with sight, but with sound. Sonar, right? Echo displacement for dolphins, echolocating. So they are not equipped with as good as eyesight as we have. Now, what Olafur Eliasson did was, when he turned off the white light and just used yellow light, all the colors disappeared. And that's weird, because suddenly all of the colors are gone and only what remained was yellow. And this is another installation that he created called the Yellow Corridor. Now, what is the point? The point is this. Right now, maybe in your situation right now, you're only seeing one color. You're only seeing one direction, one pathway, one corridor. And you probably feel depressed. You probably feel bad. You probably feel resentful of what was happening. And this is what I want to tell you guys. In our situation right now, we can only see what's in front of us. And it might not be very hopeful for a lot of us. And some people might feel hopeless. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like using the word hope before. For so many years, I don't like to use the word hope in my seminars because I thought all this time that hope was only meant for people who were desperate, right? You know, sana ganito, sana ganyan. And I thought that the word hope was just for people who were hopeless, desperado na. But I realize right now, in what we're going through, I think that's all we have. In that singular light that you have, maybe you only see yellow, maybe you only see black because of the absence of light. It suddenly changes your perception. And you can only see 100 meters in front of you, 50 meters in front of you, and you can't see what's in front of you. And this is my message to you. Keep following the light. Keep following the light. If you believe in that message, type in keep following the light, or say to the person around you, keep following the light. No matter how short that light is, or no matter how much color that is, and in the absence of light, you only see a certain color, just keep following the color or the light. Because of the absence of light, you now are impaired to see a lot of color. What do I mean? It means you cannot see everything in your periphery. You can't see around you. And now you're missing everything around you, the opportunities, the possibilities. And now is the time to create a new pattern. Today is the time to create a new pattern for yourself. Why? Because everything around us is changing its own pattern. And maybe the patterns around you are probably questionable right now, and you're confused. And I understand. I completely understand. And you might have a lot of questions going in your head right now, and you know you're confused. And why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to all of us? And I'm going to ask a very important question later on. And the reason why you have a lot of questions, and the reason why you have doubt. So now I'm going to be a little philosophical, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why you have doubt is because of the question. Let me say that again. Doubt comes from the nature of the question. The problem with the question is that it has to have an answer. And that answer has to have coherence. What does that mean? You have a question, why is this happening? And then the answer is it's supposed to change us. It's supposed to evolve us. But if it doesn't make sense with you, it's not coherent. Are you getting me? It's not coherent with your train of thought. And so, no, that's not possible. No, I don't believe that. And that's why you say it, because it goes against your pattern of thinking. And it's not coherent. And that's why, when you hear in a hospital, the patient is incoherent, his speech is incoherent because I couldn't understand it, or a guy is drunk and he's saying stuff and I don't understand what you're saying. It's incoherent speech because it doesn't make sense. And what is the biggest problem for you is that if you have questions and if you start to doubt and you have problems with what is going on, the first thing you have to go through is denial. We have denial. No, this is not happening to me. Is this a dream? I don't know. I'm running out of money. I'm running out of opportunities. I'm running out of options here. And no, this is not happening. No, this is not happening to me. And this is not my fault. That's what people say. This is not my fault, right? What's going on right now is not your fault. All right? It's not your fault. People getting sick, it's not your fault. Some other people getting sick, it's not your fault. Someone you love getting sick, it's not your fault. But just because it's not your fault it doesn't mean it's not your responsibility. Let me say that again. Just because it's not your fault doesn't mean you can't be responsible for the actions that you're going to take after that. If someone starts to shout at you, someone starts to threaten you, or someone crashes onto your car, it might not be your fault. Okay, sure, it's not your fault. But you still have a responsibility to defend yourself, to take action, or to do whatever. To take action is the answer to denial. Because when you start denying things, you're gonna be stuck. And I'm happy for all of you, type 5, if currently you're now an online seller, clap my hands for you. You're an online seller, bigla ka naging online seller, you're selling stuff, you're starting to make ube halaya or stuff, no, people, you're now making bacon, or you're making peanut butter, and you're starting to sell it off. That's the Filipino spirit. That's us. Because it's, tapos ka na sa denial, wala na, wala ang gagawin natin. This is the situation right now. Stop panicking, people not do anything. You're like, we're gonna die. And you're the first person who's gonna die. I'm sorry to say that, but the people who live, they're the people who are beyond denial, because they're beyond coherence. No, it now doesn't make sense to them. It never did, but they're taking action. And so I'm gonna close with this. I'm gonna tackle a very controversial part here, and I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna ask a very, very controversial question that maybe a lot of you are also asking. So this is the question: did God allow this to happen? Keep praying to God. God, Lord, sana matapos na to, sana matapos na to. And then the question is, did God allow this to happen to us? Is he an angry God, or is he a loving God? So what happened? So again, denial, right? So I have probably an answer for you. It might not be the best answer, but I have something in my head. Law, L-A-W, there are two kinds of laws in life. First, there's what we call natural law. There's natural law. What is that? Gravity. The spinning of the earth and the spinning around the sun and axis and all of that. And it's going to rain. The natural processes of life, the alchemy of life, chemistry and physics and acceleration and speed, it's all natural laws. They exist. And if you go against that, if you jump off the building, try to go against the law of gravity, because the law of gravity will always win. And then the second law of life is what we call permissible law. Permissible law. It is the laws, our actions that we are permitted to do. You are allowed to eat. You're allowed to eat as much as you want. You are allowed to eat as little as you want. You're allowed to cross the street. You're allowed to exercise. And some permissions are given and some permissions are not. But now what happened to us was this. Let me give you, and so now I'm going to tell you a little bit of history here. There are 20 great plagues that happened through the course of history. 20. And the first one that was ever noted was 5,000 BC. 5,000 BC, correct. Before Christ, 5,000 years before Christ. So 7,000 years ago, there was a noted plague in Greece. Okay, and then other plagues happened throughout the world. The next one happened in China, and the other plagues that happened in Rome, happened in London, happened in Mexico, happened in the United States, and there were a lot. And the span between each plague. So here's now the story. The span between each plague happening grew smaller and smaller every time a major plague happened. Between the 5,000 years of the first plague, before it happened again, was 5,000 years in between. And then suddenly, other big plagues happening through the course of time got shorter and shorter in intervals. And I mean, and then it became 2,000 years, and then it became 3,000 years, and then it became 30. The average that I saw between the modern era of pandemics happening or epidemics happening was an average of 30 years. But between the Ebola virus and the Zika virus, the interval between them was just 4 years. And where do these plagues come from? The other plagues that happened in the Roman Empire came from their crusades. When they were invading the world, the soldiers came back, they came back with smallpox and almost obliterated millions of Romans. And then the other plagues that happened came from rats, came from mosquitoes. But why does this happen? Permissible law is that we are allowed to deal with nature. We are allowed to eat, but also maybe we are not supposed to eat some things. And in the course of traveling and in the course of migration, pets, rodents, and insects, carriers of these things, were now transported to a different environment because of our permissible actions changed now these environments for the viruses, and now in this environment they are now toxic. And now it was only, we all have coronaviruses, you already know that from your education of coronavirus, we all possess the coronavirus, but when our environment changes, it suddenly triggers that virus and now becomes deadly. And so this is now what is happening to us. We were given the permission to mess with the world, to mess with Mother Nature, but now the answer is this. Mother Nature has its way to balance itself. It always balances itself. It corrects itself in a certain way. This is the skies above LA during the lockdown. We've never had clearer skies over the last centuries. We are at the worst period ever, especially in Los Angeles where it has the most congestion. Look at the skies of the world right now. I guess it's getting worse now. But during the lockdown, our skies were much, much clearer because the world, Mother Nature, has the ability to correct herself. She is going to correct herself. And this is my closing message to all of you. And I'm going to say something a little bit personal, if you don't mind. Sir Howell, is that okay? I'm going to say something personal here. My dad, my father, died December of 2018. 2018. My mother, my mom, Mamu, died in December of 2019. 1 year apart. My mom, 2019, December. My youngest brother died 3 months after my mom. He died March of 2020, just days after his birthday. I lost 3 of the most important people in my life in a span of 15 months. That is darkness. And then COVID-19 came about. Imagine that period of darkness that you're going through, that I'm going through. I went to a level of depression, the deepest level of depression that I've ever had. But now I realized, and I still miss them, just 15 months ago. I love my brother so much, and it was just March. He died during the lockdown, and we had to cremate him. He didn't die of COVID, by the way. He died of natural reasons. But that's darkness. That's the absence of light. And the only thing I can do is keep on following the light, because that's the only thing that you have. And that there are opportunities around you. And yes, there is depression. But yes, you can get out of it. The one thing that you cannot do is stay in that depression. And everyone starts to claim depression. Oh, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. I know people everywhere claim the word depression, but if it's not clinical, if it's not diagnosed, then maybe you're not really in that level of depression. What I want to tell you is that there is brightness, there is light. Whether it comes from your family or it comes from your faith, must not come from your religion, it has to come from your spirituality. It has to come from hope. And that's all that your family and the Lord can give you. It's hope. And that's all you can hang on right now, but you have to keep on moving. That's it, Sir Howell.
Thank you, Coach Randy Esguerra. Big hand for Coach Randy. Wow. I can only imagine the pain you have experienced in the past 15 months. I lost a brother to cancer when he was just 10 and a half. He could have been 33 by now. And yet the pain's still there. It's still here.
Yeah.
What more? It just happened 15 months ago. I mean, the span of 15 months. So our heart goes to you, Coach Randy, and to the rest of the Esguerra family.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I can only imagine your courage following the light every day. It's a struggle, and yet you're winning it every day. I believe you spoke from your heart, and we felt you. So thank you so much, Coach Randy, and we pray nothing like this will ever happen again to you and your family, and that God will reward you and comfort you and bring you good news every day, small wins every day. So with that, I will be pausing for a 2-minute break. Coach Randy can maybe grab a bite or sip a cup of coffee. For all of you who'd like to inquire and ask Coach Randy, how does he make it one day at a time? I'm sure that's the question that's also in your mind. Type in your question at the Q&A box. We'll be returning after 2 minutes. Don't you go away.
Every coffee needs a lotus.
And welcome back to our webinar with none other than Coach Randy Esguerra on the topic, the brightness amidst the crisis. Support our frontliners, our way of helping during COVID-19. Learn and share. This is the 3rd month that we've been doing this. This is the call of the moment so that as we give back to you, you will pay it forward to those who are in need. And as you gain access to all our live webinar series for a cause, starting in April and then May, June, it will go on until July. And Only God knows if it will go until August. You can donate an amount to help families in distress. Together, let's show our support to our fellow Filipinos who are in survival mode during this difficult time of the global health crisis. So act now, click and donate. That's arriva.com.ph/donation. This is a collaboration between Arriva Foundation, Arriva Achievers Foundation, and the Bayanihan Act 2020, and of course, the Bayan ng Mahayhay. And with your kindness, we can rebuild our nation. So, Coach Randy, welcome back to our webinar. If it's okay with you, we'll just greet our participants from all parts of the Philippines. So we have participants from Bacolod, Baguio, Batangas, Bulacan, Cabanatuan, Cagayan de Oro, Cavite, Cebu, Davao, Isabela, Laguna, Nueva Vizcaya, Pampanga, Pangasinan, Quezon Province, Rizal Province, Surigao, Tarlac, Valencia, and NCR. Thank you for joining us. And now we'll go back to the second part. I'm not saying that this is an even more exciting. In fact, this will be an even more heartfelt because you can go personal. You can ask Coach Randy about the practical steps on how to wake up in the morning, drag yourself out of the bed, and then go to work.
All right.
So for our participants,
Sir Howell,
yes, Coach.
I'm gonna lean forward a bit because little volume. So,
mahina, boses ko?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Ay, pasensya na. Ayan, okay. Ayusin natin.
Okay.
Ayan, so, okay na? For our participants, Zoom room participants, please type in your question at the Q&A box. And for our YouTube viewers, you can type in your comments at the comment box. Ayan, ha? And let's start off, Coach Randy, with the present question. Were you sent the present question as well? Anyway, I'll just choose from
Sorry again?
questions. Sorry. Ayan, okay. So sabi ni Miss Irish, hindi daw na-send sa'yo yung present questions.
Okay.
Okay lang yan, para surprise. Anyway, again, our heartfelt condolences to you, Coach Randy. We never thought
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
lost
everyone.
3 loved ones in a span of 15 months. Again, like what I mentioned, we can only imagine. We can never understand the pain. We can never understand the pain of losing 3 beloved. I lost someone, a dear brother of mine, 10 and a half years old, 20 plus years ago. And it's still painful. And it's just a loved one loved one. You lost 3. And so I believe that your life is the epitome of what the topic is all about, the brightness amidst the crisis. How do you shine your light? No matter if it's just 50 yards in front of you, how do you shine your light every day? So for our participants, please type in your question now. Let me just choose one from Mirna Sikon. How to be thankful and positive during COVID-19 pandemic. Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, Coach. Thankful and positive. How do you do that?
Thankful is the ability to see presence. The problem with faith is the lack of faith is the byproduct of a lack of awareness. It is the lack of information, the lack of presence. And really, this pandemic, kung hindi ka pa thankful right now, I don't know what to tell you. Because this pandemic was actually created, I don't know why it was created. It was this point in time that we have to be thankful. Because there will be no hope if there is no gratitude. And if you're not thankful, it's because of your level of contentment. And if you're not content with the bare basics because you were so used to the luxuries, then you will not be hopeful and you will not be positive. And I have a saying. My boss loves this saying, and I always say this to a lot of people. Eventually, so this is the line. Eventually, and I want you to think about this. Eventually, things fall into place. Eventually, things fall into place, and it might not be now, might not be tomorrow, but they will fall into place. Look at your history right now. Look at your life. Yes, you went through a lot of stuff. You went through suffering. You went through pain. And you're here right now. Whether it's a good place or a bad place, it was created by a lot of your decisions. And your decisions were influenced by your state of mind. Your state of mind is influenced by your level of contentment, your level of firmness, your level of alertness, and so you make the right decisions. And sometimes we fall weak. Mahina tayo. And we've made some really bad decisions in our life. And still, if you turn that around, things fall into place. Pero yung level of contentment mo, nakasalala yan kung gaano ka katyaga. Kung hindi ka matyaga, matyagang maghintay, matyagang kumilos, matyagang maghanap, maiinip ka talaga. At maiinip ka, hindi ka magiging grateful, magwisit ka, and that's when everything falls apart.
Ayan. Thank you, Coach. From Sheila Rabino. Hi, Coach Randy. Any book or books to read that you can recommend to us to read? Thank you.
Go back. Well, it's time to read back our Bibles. Really actively, and this is a book that we haven't picked up in a while, but it's I'm at Romans right now, and it's really teaching me a lot of things. Colossians, the book of Colossians, the book of Paul, it's teaching us a lot of things, and it's teaching us a lot of the doubt that we go through, and what is the answer to those doubts. And sometimes we don't take note of that. Other books that I wanna share with you. Okay. So rated PG ba, Sir Howell?
Oh, sige sir, mga naman ang mga participants natin.
Yeah, okay.
They are professionals
you are a grown adult, guys. I hope. Okay. So if there's kids right there, maybe you wanna move them out a bit. Okay. So this was the latest book I read. Okay. So maybe you can find this. You already have this. I think National Bookstore is already open. It's an amazing book because it teaches you to focus on the important things, and that's exactly what this COVID is doing to us. No, sometimes we give an F of a lot of things, and we don't give an F for the things that are important. And sometimes you need to ask yourself, is this it? Ito na ba yun? Ano nangyayari? Ito ba katapusan? And wala na, tapos na. And it's teaching us that the flip side of that, it's easy to say cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Sure. Pero ang hirap. Pero nakadepende yan sa level of responsibility that you take. After denial, you become responsible. So, Sheila, that's a really good book to read. I'll think of other books, and this is the first one at the top of my head right now, and the Bible and YouTube videos on hope and inspiration, and it will get you through.
Ayan. Thank you, Coach. From Chari Perlas. When is the best time to reveal crucial decisions, like the company is not doing very well and you need to retrench people immediately without affecting their morale, their motivation to work, and feeling of resentment to the company?
Sir Howell, you were a manager for a long time as well. You know very well the answer to this question as well. And you now own your own company. We now own our own consultancies. And when is the best time is always never absolute. The word saying And I'm gonna tell you that we're not good, guys. I'm gonna tell you magsasara tayo. I'm gonna tell you we're not doing well. Is a situation, and ang tanong dito is how well informed are you of what will happen after you've done it? Will it just create panic, for example? Okay, so like what's happening with the news right now, they're making announcements and then binabawi and then maga-announce, no? First of all, it has to be intelligent information, verified information, and then will it cause any panic? If it's just gonna cause a lot of harm, a lot of looting, you know what happened to the car company in Laguna? They put everyone in the canteen so that when they announced the company's closure, people would not go to the factory line and sabotage anything or steal stuff, because it is a reality of business. Businesses close. Businesses sometimes go through tough times, but it's also a good thing to be transparent with your employees if you know that this will create for them a more positive result. Like our sales are down, I'm going to show you. You know, I have a friend who owns her company. I told her, show your people your financial results, your financial papers, your financial statements. And you know what? When she showed her financial statements to her people and she showed them that they are actually at a net loss, people actually said, oh my God, we need to sell more. So it had a positive effect on them. It was, and here's the important thing. People who are not believers, they're gonna run. Okay? People who are not believers, they're gonna panic, they're gonna run. But the true believers of the company, of the product, of the service are going to stay because they believe in the company. They believe in the product. So if you see that this will rouse people into, and that depends on the people's connection to your product. All right. So if you have a lot of pilferage, a lot of shoplifting, then you have a problem with your people, or you have a problem with your management style. Okay. So the best time to say it is hopefully to see the best results that will come out.
Ayan. Thank you, Coach Randy. Thank you for bringing up transparency as the intention of every manager to, because whether we like it or not, we're going to fire them eh. So be transparent na rin. And I like your strategy na ipakita mo, lugi tayo, ano gagawin natin. So there will be a sense of ownership.
Okay, I have one last thing. I have one more thing.
Yes, Coach.
Sorry to cut you off.
Okay, Coach.
For that question, one important thing I learned is this: do not delay saying no. If you're gonna say no, don't delay it, because there's no reason to delay it. If you're going to fire people, then don't delay it, because that's the reality. But of course, you have to be intelligent about it before you do it. But if it's a no, just don't delay it. It's gonna happen eventually.
Thank you, Coach. By the way, Sir Melchor Cordova empathizes with you and sympathizes with you. He also lost his father in 2018. See, imagine, even in pain, we can connect. Like what you mentioned, we are tribal. And if that's one way of connecting with you, Coach Randy, well, I must say that this has been one of your very effective workshops and webinars that have impacted our participants. Can you enter? I know it's already 3:30. We started at 2. Can you entertain just one last, Coach Randy?
Yes, absolutely.
Sige, Coach. Ito na lang, si Judy Ann Palileo, what programs would you suggest for employee engagement during this time of pandemic or post-pandemic or post-quarantine?
Yeah, so eventually things are going to pick up. We're going to congregate again. We're going to see you all again in the flesh. I said this in our last webinar, Sir Howell, nung tayo yung magkakasama ni Ms. Suzette. I said, eventually companies will be going through some problems. And I can see that already. Unfortunately, sad to say, some companies are closed. Some companies are going through a lot of problems, financial problems. I've heard several people who lost their jobs or are going to lose their jobs. And I hear some people are going to lose their jobs and they still don't know it yet. and it's sad. So one thing I wanna say is this: when we had a seminar, Miss Irish and I, and Miss Keisha, last December 2019, just this December, we did a seminar about preparation, and I mean, and we called it Spartan training. Spartan training. Alam mo, Spartan, Sparta! And it was a training to prepare people para tumibay at tumigas sa katotohanan ng negosyo. And I suggested to the company to do the seminar in 4 levels. Ibig sabihin ng 4 levels, every quarter, magkukondak ka ng seminar. The first level of apat na klaseng training: mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. And the mental part was the first, and I did that. I did the preparation training for the people to understand the business sense of what's happening. Because people only see income, product, process, sales. But they don't see the financials behind the business. And that is why hindi nila naintindihan na may cost, na may rent, na may interest, na may loans, at lahat ito nakaka-apekto sa business. But they don't know that because they only know their jobs. So the first thing that people need to realize is how business works in reality and in numbers. Mahina kasi tayo sa numbers at inaayawan at tinatakbuhan natin ng numbers, but it is a reality. Prepare them to understand the numbers of the business. That's why I told my friend, please be transparent to show your people your financials so that they will understand the number side of the business. So that's the mental part. Nagiging matibay ang mind mo kasi ngayon naintindihan mo na. Kaya pala ganun. Yung inflation rate pala kasi ganito. Kaya ganun kasi yung sales pala natin ganyan. Yung cost of sales natin. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-pricing na wala kang costing. At hindi ka pwedeng gumawa ng strategy kung hindi ka may marketing budget. So all of these come into play, mental. And then maybe you can do a play of any other of the 4. You can go emotional, how to prepare people emotionally. You can have a retreat, you can have a recollection, you can have a team building, you can have a lunch, you can have a dinner. And then physically, you can do a team building or whatever, any physical activity that you can do with your people, a bonding session para maging physically bonded sila, and then spiritual. You cannot live without the spiritual. And the meaning of the spiritual does not necessarily mean religion. The meaning of spirituality is the presence of good, to do good. Kaya kami produkto to give to someone, and it becomes good. They consume it, so it's good to them. And what happens? They exchange it with something. What is it? Their money, their credit card. And that's why business works, because of the goodness that we share with each other. Kaya nga siya tinawag na goods. It's good. But if it's bad, the intention is bad, the intention is not good, then it's not a good business. Kaya nga, masyadong mahal ang presyo kasi nandoloko ka. Kasi nag-hoard ka. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng ethics in business. It's spiritual in nature because you want to do good. So you can talk about it not in the essence of spirituality, but maybe business etiquette. Understanding the gentleman side of business. They say business is cutthroat, but yes, there's also an etiquette that has to be played because there's a part that the law allows, but also there's a part that decency allows. It's etiquette in conducting business with others.
Thank you, Coach Randy. Grabe, well-rounded ang mga binigay mo na payo dito sa ating mga participants. Totoo yan, after this quarantine, balik sa dati, and yet pwedeng durog pa yung puso nila, pwedeng takot pa, and that's a good strategy, the holistic approach to training and upbuilding our people. Coach, ang bilis na isa't kalahating oras.
We went overtime.
In fact, pwede sana na mag 2 hours, pero may mga na tayo, mga messages. Coach Randy, last minute takeaway ang tawag natin dito. What do you want us to think about as we sleep tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, all of this will end eventually. Life is going to end. Suffering is going to end. we are going to end. So siguro, my suggestion to all of us is that we live on the bare basics of our values, live on the bare basics of our families, live on the bare basics of what is in front of us, what is inside of us, and that's always expanding. But we need to take care of the inside first. We need to take care of our circle, and we know it's not going to be there forever. Everything's not going to be here forever. God is forever, but us, we're not. And that's what nature is. It's eventually going to happen. And you don't have to think about what's your legacy. You don't have to think about that. You just have to think about what matters and what's your values and what to surround yourself with. And that's the brightness inside the crisis. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Coach Randy Esguerra. Keep your light shining. Remain to be brave every day and keep inspiring people. Thank you so much, Coach Randy. And as Coach Randy fades out of the screen, we're being flooded with gratitude at the chat box. People are thanking you, Coach. Thanking you for inspiring them. And wow. Miss Irish? Ayan. Grabe.
Yes, sir.
Ano masasabi mo, Miss Irish?
Of course, as usual, Sir Howell, Coach Randy never fails to amaze us with his words, with the practical tips, with the realizations, and the clarity on what's happening right now, Sir Howell. So with that, everyone, virtual clap to Coach Randy Esguerra. I miss you, Coach. Okay, Sir Howell.
Ang takeaway ko yung hindi ko ma-imagine kung gaano ka dapat kalakas to survive the deaths of 3 loved ones. Hindi ko ma-imagine yun, pero kinakaya ni Coach Randy. Kamatayan ka ng 2 magulang at 1 kapatid. I think that's my takeaway. Yung courage ni Coach Randy, keeping it together, waking up in the morning, living today, and protecting your crime. That's my biggest takeaway from Coach Randy.
Well, for me, as a friend of Coach Randy, of course, yun nga, during that pandemic, I was siguro, I'm one of the people na nag-confide siya. Because I know what he's feeling. He's really down and everything. So, yun lang. I'm one of the people. I'm very privileged to share with him yung mga advices na binigay niya sa akin dati, and I gave it to him to cope up. And of course, live on the bare basics, secure the basics, protect your tribe. Ang daming realizations, Sir Howell, no?
Dami. Tsaka lahat practical
Yes. Parang thinking of the realization na dati naman, we can live with a simple life. Diba? Hindi kailangan isipin, yes, we're in a pandemic, but we can live by this. Kaya natin to. And this will end soon.
Yes.
Let's ask our participants what's their takeaway, what are the learnings that they had with Coach Randy.
Ayan.
Ang daming
For participants, I think yung pinakang takeaway ng mga tao dito yung connection sa puso. Kasi everybody can relate with sadness, if not depression, losing a loved one. Keep following the light, sabi ni Kim
Agaceta. Thank you, Kim Agaceta. Okay, from Ms. Marife Baguio, enlightenment and encouragement. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you so much, Sir Howell, for moderating our session today. By the way, before anything else...
It's a pleasure. Wow.
Okay.
Sir Melchor muna, may message pa. Basahin mo, madam.
Thank you so much, Coach Randy, Howell, Irish, and Arriva. This is a very inspiring experience indeed. Let's not give up and continue following the light. I agree with you,
And our condolences, Sir Melchor. Our heart goes out to you, Sir Melchor. Grabe, losing a dad, a loved one, is no joke.
On a lighter note, Sir Howell, thank you.
Teka ma'am, si Dayan pa, si Dayan, lumibaw. Sabi niya, my takeaway is gratitude. Gratitude daw.
Okay. Of course,
Ayan,
be
sige na.
thankful. Okay. Thank you so much for moderating our session today, and I'll be seeing you
Always a
Monday.
pleasure. Monday.
Yes, we will be having none other than Miss Abigail Arenas.
Yes!
Watch out for
Yun
that.
ba yung
and
kanyang
don't forget
online
to register.
presence?
Yes, Sir Howell.
Ayun, grabe, no? Thank you so much, Miss Irish. Enjoy the rest of the week, and thanks, everyone. Don't you go away.
And of course, this is not yet the end of our e-learning session. I have yet more announcements to make. We would like to thank the following win-win partners: our official media partner, Art Plus Magazine; digital media partners, Focus Media, Globotronics, City Advertising Ventures, Outcome, Elevate Media. Thank you as well to Brother Faber-Castell, Glutacy, Moringa O2, KFC, Mr. Donut, Tokyo, Lotus Biscuit, Boss Job, Sir Technology Inc., Pinma Properties, Salary Jet, Frontier Software, Ilawi Korea, Kitosan and Carpo Consulting, Enchanted Kingdom, Disperse, Cosmetech Philippines Inc., Mindchom's virtual preschool program. To register, please call them at 0906-486-0710 or email them at disakanabe@mindchoms.org. We would like to thank as well Essential Safety Products PH for your personal protective equipments for your health and safety requirements. Please email them at essentialsafetyph@gmail.com. If you want to place your ads here, advertise your company, your services, your logo, have a brand exposure to thousands of viewers through Zoom, FB, LinkedIn, and YouTube, please email us at marketing@ariva.com.ph. To stay on top of our insights and updates, stay connected, visit us on our social media sites, join the Ariva Academy Facebook group, like the Ariva Academy Facebook fan page, follow the Ariva Academy LinkedIn page, and visit us on our website. It's www.ariva.com.ph. And if you missed watching our e-learning session this afternoon, and if you want to watch a replay of our previous e-learning sessions, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. Again, it's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. For our upcoming online learning sessions, please do register and join us. We would like again to invite you for our live webinar series for a cause. This is our HR Virtual Summit PH, Bounce Back HR. We have invited international and local subject matter experts to share with us their wisdom in the HR field. So don't forget to register, guys. We will be having our second batch of online selling from home, how to use FB, IG, and LinkedIn for your business. And of course, we will be having the Asia's Millennial Guru, Mr. Jonathan Yabut, and this will be on Wednesday, June 24, 4 to 6 p.m. This is only $799 per participant, and you will be getting one free ebook from Mr. Jonathan Yabut. And of course, guys, don't forget to register. We will be having Miss Abigail Arenas on Monday, June 22. Don't forget, 3:30 to 5 p.m. on-screen impression management. So don't forget to register, guys. Another live webinar series for a cause, Extraordinary Focus. Master the secret ingredient to break your personal records and be a world class in what you do. This will be on Monday as well, June 22, 2 to 2:45 p.m. And we will be having an international speaker, Nishant Kashibatia. Unlock your creative potential. Get unstuck and stay productive in turbulent times. This will be on Tuesday, June 23, 3 to 4:30 p.m. And we will be having Hazrik Idrus from Singapore to talk about this session. Managing Virtual Workers today, Wednesday, June 24, 2 to 3 in the afternoon. This is another live webinar series for a cause, and we will be having Dr. Bob Nelson from United States. another master class, of course, by none other than Coach MJ Tolan. Please join us on Thursday, June 25, 3 to 5:30 in the afternoon. Crisis management strategies in sales. Ultimate winning sales strategies during a crisis and beyond. June 25, don't forget to register, guys. Another masterclass, effective human resource planning techniques and strategies in response to COVID-19. This will be on Friday and Saturday, June 26 to 27, 3 to 5:30 p.m. And we will be having Mr. Ronaldo Torla to conduct this webinar. Pandemic and HR in 2020, how strategic should HR become during the COVID-19 crisis? This will be on Monday, June 29, 3 to 4:30 p.m. And we will be having Professor John Raymond Alneda to conduct this session. And of course, we would like to announce to you that we will be having a masterclass series by none other than Mr. Howell Mabalot, how to communicate with diplomacy, tact, credibility in times of chaos. This will be on June 30. Leadership skills for supervisors in turbulent times. This will be on July 16. And how to take on greater responsibilities, step up skills for non-managers. This will be on July 29. Don't forget to register and join us. Okay, and if you want to customize an e-learning session for your team, for your company, please do call me at 0916-695-4418 or email me at irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com. And that's it, guys. Hope you learned a lot from our speaker, Coach Randy Esguerra. Hope to see you again on Monday for another free e-learning session. Again, this is Irish Malonda Samson. In Arriva, it's all about being better, be safe, and have a great week. Thank you. Bye-bye.